Graham Audio and its range of BBC monitors was born out of the zeitgeist of the 1960s. This was a time where experts were looking to create the best possible inventions for the benefit of society. The spirit of creation and innovation was seen across a range of different cultural sectors, and at the very same time the BBC's Research and Development Department was looking to discover the best possible sound and quality for loudspeakers. At that time, there weren't any loudspeakers commercially available that were good enough for broadcast, and so the BBC R&D department dedicated themselves to creating a monitor that was the best it could possibly be, free from commercial restraints.
I'm Paul Graham, the owner of Graham Audio. We started manufacturing our loudspeakers about 10 years ago. This came from our company's work up at the BBC, refurbishing their studios. We found that there was such a great appetite for these loudspeakers, and since they were not available or nothing quite like them, I thought I would approach the BBC. At the time, the BBC ran an approval system, so you had to build your loudspeaker and then take it to Broadcasting House for approval, which we did, and we were successful, and we now have BBC licenses, which we manufacture very successfully and we supply to companies throughout the world. Graham Audio go for first principles, and that is we want to build the best regardless of cost. We're trying to recreate what was the best 50 years ago and, to my ears, is still the best today. Most development of loudspeakers now is done through computer generation. We needed to recreate these loudspeakers from first principles, and very fortunately we found Derek Hughes.
My name's Derek Hughes, and some years ago when I was sitting quietly at my desk, an email arrived from Mr. Paul Graham saying that he'd obtained a licence to produce a BBC loudspeaker, and was I able to help with technical and design input, which I was very happy to do. I mean, over the years, right since a teenager, I was involved with my father with BBC loudspeaker design work, because he worked for BBC Research. Loudspeaker design cannot just be done on paper. It's about real acoustic instruments. It's about a combination of technical input, measuring and listening, because you can't divorce the two. They have to work together in some sort of synergy to produce a good end result as a loudspeaker. One of the great advantages the BBC had in producing their speakers was the access to really high quality studios and high quality orchestras, and the ability to have a sound control room where you could listen to the loudspeakers, walk through a door and listen to the real thing, the orchestra. And that's a very rare commodity, and probably a pretty unique commodity in terms of assessing whether a loudspeaker design really fulfills the requirements. One of the key pieces of source material that I still use is a 1/4-inch tape recording of a number of people whose voices I'm familiar with, recorded in anechoic chamber at the BBC, as it happens. This is an important piece of source material because a large proportion of our brains that deals with auditory cues is focused on recognising voices and the fine detail in voices, and starting with that as a central part of what you listen to in developing a loudspeaker, to my mind, is still very much a key area. If you get that right, you then work outwards towards music, and if you like, the lower end of a loudspeaker's response, the top end of a loudspeaker's response. But getting the speech area correct is absolutely key in producing what we are doing, which is monitor loudspeakers. At Graham Audio, we still use anechoic chambers for final testing of the loudspeakers. It enables you to hear exactly what the loudspeakers are doing without any reflections or input from the room.
Out of this collaboration of design expertise and technical dexterity, we have developed 11 hand-built monitors, including the original BBC models, our Chartwell editions, as well as our unique Graham Audio range inspired by the traditional designs. We currently make the original LS35, the legendary LS35A, the LS58, the high-power studio monitor made for larger studios, the LS55, the original three-way studio monitor featuring the unique slotted front, the LS51, the floor-standing version of the LS58, the LS6, a compact monitor, the Sub 3, a compact sub for the LS35 and the LS35A, the LS6F, the floor-standing version of the compact monitor, the LS59F, the floor-standing version of the BBC LS59 monitor, and finally the Votu, the voice of the universe, Graham Audio's flagship loudspeaker.
The sort of design ethos, that whole approach that the BBC had to loudspeaker design, you were trying to reproduce exactly what the microphone in the studio heard, without anything added or taken away. And that's a difficult thing to do, and much more difficult than it would seem on the surface. And that's an approach which I've continued as I've worked with Graham Audio for the last few years. The thread all the way through those is a solid combination of engineering and listening to critical music to produce the best possible loudspeaker that we possibly can.
All our loudspeakers are matched electronically and then by ear, so you should have the best listening experience that is possible. Everything is built in small quantities, it always will be, and you can be guaranteed that when you buy one of our speakers, it has been hand-built and hand-assembled. This is the advantage you will get with our type of loudspeakers over mass-manufactured.
Graham Audio will endeavour to preserve and continue the hand-built tradition of the BBC monitors, bringing the finest craftsmanship and sonic truth and accuracy to all of our loudspeakers, now and in the future. The Graham Audio monitors will provide a lifetime of musical companionship.